Hi guys, I just wanted to make a quick video going to show my flight bag off and kind of show you what I carry along with it. Hopefully for any student pilots watching, this might kind of provide you with a little bit of kind of a guideline to see what you should add to your flight bag as you kind of go through training and other licensed pilots. I hope this might show you might learn something here and see something that you might think about adding to your flight bag. So anyways, let's get started. The flight bag itself is just a flight gear from Sporty's pilot shop. Actually, my instructor gave this flight bag to me because early on in my training, I just had my hands. I didn't have a flight bag, so I'd be carrying my headset, my notebook for notes and stuff, the can to the plane with all the keys and stuff in it, amongst other things. I'd all carry that in my hands, and I flew Piper Cherokee series aircraft, so it was kind of tough to manage and carry all of that with one hand while I'm climbing up on the wing. So she gave me this because she kind of felt bad for me. This was hers. It's a couple years old now. There are no issues other than the zipper along the top here is kind of broken. You can kind of see where it's kind of coming apart, and it doesn't stick together, or whatever the term is for it. But other than that, it's actually held up fairly nicely. Now, I think Sporty's has released a new version of this whole setup, and they have different setups, larger, smaller bags. But for what it is, it's held up really nicely, and I don't have really any plans to get a new one. Thankfully, I had a pretty good instructor, so they gave me this for free. They felt bad for me. But I definitely recommend, although they don't make this particular style anymore, I'm sure the ones they make are just as great, if not better quality than this one. So going to be moving along the side here. I've got a Sporty's flight gear radio pack, and it basically, if you can kind of tell, it's kind of tough with the lighting, but it's got little straps here, and they'll strap on to typically they're Velcro, and on the new ones, it's meant for the newer style backpacks and flight bags, but they have Velcro and it'll connect via the Velcro, but this has kind of like a little bit of a MOLLE webbing on it, so I just kind of looped it through and put it on, connected to it, and it hasn't fallen off. It's not meant for it. I didn't know that when I was purchasing it, but it's done its job. So inside of it, I am carrying a handheld radio. This is a very old dinosaur radio. It's a ICOM IC820. I don't even know if they make it anymore. Battery, I had to go on some, I had to buy a new battery when I got it, but I had to go on some kind of sketchy battery website, like radio website. But I have an uncle. Lucky enough, he was a pilot. He flew in the Navy for a little bit, and then following that was just a general aviation pilot. And he had this, and I asked him after seeing one of Flight Job's videos, which I would link down, and I'll link down below, of why I wanted to get a handheld radio, and I think it's a great idea and a great addition to anyone's flight bag to have one. But thankfully, I haven't had to use it for any emergency situations. But I always want it in case of an emergency, in case I have an electrical failure and unable to use my aircraft's radio, or if I have some emergency and I have to put it down off field, and for some reason my radios in the aircraft are inoperative at that point, I have this. So that's always nice to have a nice kind of backup plan. Now, in this top pocket here, it's kind of like a little sunglass pocket, or glass for glasses. And I've got my Ray-Bans in here. I just hold them in here. And I've also got a few, they're called side savers, but they're just more or less just baby wipes that you can wipe down your sunglasses with. I'd highly recommend that, especially in the summer, because we all know most of us don't fly fancy planes with AC, so you'll be kind of sweaty, and you can always get, I had a problem with it, get my glasses kind of fogged up or dirty, and I'd have to wipe it clean. So it's always helpful to have some nice glasses cleaner so you don't have any smudges on your glasses, especially if you're like me and I have to wear corrective lenses, so I have in my sunglasses and a pair of just normal reading glasses I have for when I fly at night, so I'm not flying like Stevie Wonder, but it's nice to have those. Coming down here in this bottom pocket, we got, I don't have anything in here. It's just a nice kind of decently sized utility pouch. You can kind of use whatever you want at your own prerogative, but I just, whenever I'm flying, I just put my wallet in there, wallet and car keys in there, and it fits nicely in there. My car keys are on a lanyard, so it all fits in there. It's fine. Move along to the left side here. We got my Bose A20s. These are my headset. This little bag came with it. Came with the A20 when I bought it. I think it's kind of comes standard with A20. It's a nice little bag. I just clipped it on, unclipped this, and ran the little handle through it, and it holds on just fine. But inside of it, I got my A20s here, and I've got a spare pair of batteries for the Bluetooth and active noise cancellation features on this Bose A20. I think it's always a good idea to bring if your headset or any really thing you're using requires batteries. I think it's a good idea to bring spares. But I've got that, spares, headset, and then also got the owner's guide, even though in case I need to troubleshoot something far away. So set that up. Apologies, I'm holding my GoPro with one hand. I was going to put it on my headset like a little head mount, but I don't really know where it's looking at, and by holding it I can't see. So anyways, kind of behind this headset bag, I've got pen, pencil. They've got four little holders or anything, pens and stuff. On this larger, they got two larger ones, and in one of the larger one, I have a fuel tester. I don't really need a fuel tester just because the aircraft I fly, they come with the fuel tester because I rent at the moment. But it's always nice to have one in case you need to help a buddy out, or for some reason someone forgot the fuel tester in the FBO or something like that. So now coming around to the back, I don't really use this whole, they've got, I guess you could put sectionals and stuff in here, but in case I'm ever walking out in the rain, I don't want my sectional to get all wet. So I just have a whole bunch of just random stuff, especially like stuff I use for when I'm training. This is like more just like things, you know, that I might need in here. I just found this. It's just a little Garmin bag. I don't have anything in it except, apologies once again guys, I don't have something to mount my camera on, but inside here I have, I usually have a little stylus for my iPad, but I don't know where it is at the moment. I think it's just somewhere in some pocket or something. But I have a nice little headlamp for whenever I'm night flying. It's got white LED. Of course, you don't want to use that. So it's got red lights, which is what you need to have at night. So I just put that on my head, and I look around and stuff. I can see fine with it. Put that to the side because I don't feel like zipping it up again. And then I also have E6B. It's in a little case here. No need to really show you an E6B. If you don't know what it is, you'll learn soon enough when you're in training. And then I also have a plotter here, CP1LX. It's just a straight plotter. I don't know how much more advanced you can get. And also really good idea to have. This is just a spare battery pack for you can plug via USB, so you can plug your little cord and charge iPads, charge phones, whatever you need. This is a good idea of something to have, especially if you use iPad. I'll show you ForeFlight in just a second, but especially if you use it for ForeFlight and for some reason you forget to charge it or something, and you're like, oh crap, and you're flying, and you have this, and then some people are like, oh, but you have a cigarette lighter. Well, and some of the planes, the cigarette lighters don't work. Some of these planes are from the 60s, 70s. I know that the Arrow I fly is a 77, and the cigarette lighter it'll charge for like 2 seconds and stop. So this is nice to have. Apparently it can recharge twice. I don't know what size it can recharge, but as long as it can charge something. And then if you press the power button, it'll kind of give you a little LED thing there, so you can see what percentage it's at. So it's at 100% good. That said, I also have thrown a few snacks down there that I don't need anymore, but it doesn't matter. So going into the flight bag here, you got this main. I just usually grab stuff out of the top because I only really need my iPad out when I'm flying, or maybe a sectional, but I use iPad for sectionals. But you have this, it opens up wide. I don't have anything up here in the top pockets, but this little bottom mesh pocket, I have my license, my medical, other required items you're supposed to carry on you. I have it all in this little mesh pack. It's nice, or mesh kind of zipper bag, pocket, whatever you want to call it. Now, moving into the main bulk of things, I have, this is not really important if you're just flying around, but if you're in training, I have foggles, which is, I just haven't bothered to take them out. It doesn't really take up much room and space in my flight bag. And then I've got a sectional for my area. While it's currently, as I'm filming it, January 2nd, 2018, it expired August 17, 2017. I need to get a new one. However, I do have a sectional on here that's up to date, so that's fine. But always have an up to date sectional. You never know when you need to use it. I need to get a new one. And then I could probably take it out of my flight bag, but I just still have it. Big tip for any new student pilots. For ground school, I did mine with my instructor, but no matter what, have a composition notebook where you just take tons of notes. I have notes from when I started flying, February 12th, 2017. And now I'm a private pilot, but I started just taking notes of every ground lesson I have. Could not recommend it enough. I used a lot of this just for studying for my check ride and written. Just make sure you, even if you don't use a composition notebook, use something like an iPad. Just make sure you have something to take notes on. That's should go without saying, but it's just super important. Next big thing and very important thing is your logbook. While you don't have to have it on you now that you're a private pilot, or if you're a student pilot, you do have to. But I just carry it with me because I always just fill out my times in the plane once I'm done flying. Just have. I mean, it's a logbook, so it's a large logbook, but you can really get whatever you want. That just is about it for what I carry on the inside. Don't know what this is. I got an aux cord for passengers. I have an aux cord. Some of the planes I fly, 172s, the newer ones at least, they have an aux input, and you can just let them listen to music and you can isolate yourself. I just think it's kind of a nice thing to do. I don't have a spare headset. I'll have a spare headset, but not one that has Bluetooth or aux directly plugged in. So I let them listen to music, and I'll isolate myself from them. If they need me, they just poke me or something like that, but I have an aux cord for them. I also have a Starbucks. This is from like early June, expired June 15th, so go figure. That's gone. Other than that, this goes with your foggles. Don't think that's really that important. Also have a calculator. I haven't really used it since my written test, just because I also have a calculator in here. But also just bring a calculator on me. Like I said, it's an iPad. Technology can always fail you. You never know when your iPad's. Well, you kind of do know when your iPad's gonna die, but you could always turn off due to heat or something like that. So you never really know. So it's always nice to have a nice spare of everything that you really use your iPad for. And with that, that's about all I've got in there. So let's get on to my iPad. So I just have it already set to ForeFlight, but I always just carry it in here. It fits perfectly in here alongside my other items. And I use this for ForeFlight. ForeFlight's a really intuitive app. If you don't know, or most people probably know what it is, but it's just everything that you see here literally is here. You got your sectional here. You can flight plan. It calculates time, fuel, distance, all that stuff. So I had it set for a location near Nashville to Knoxville for a potential flight. And based off the info I was set for this aircraft to fly, which is an Archer 3, 7,500 feet. It's 147 nautical miles direct. Take me an hour and 17 minutes. Burn 14 gallons of fuel, and there's a nice 10-knot general kind of overall tailwind throughout the flight. This is really helpful, like without a shadow of a doubt, on your check ride when you get the diversion. Because let's say you didn't have your iPad, right? You'd have to get this thing out, figure out where you are, get this out for calculating how long and the fuel it will take you to get you there. You have to get this thing out so you can see how far away it is. So if anybody's opened up a sectional, I'm not even going to try to do it with one hand, but it is large. And if you're in that small cockpit and you're on your check ride, so you're already kind of a little bit on edge, having this do it all for you versus 1, 2, 3 items is tremendous. Like, I'll show you here. So let's say I'll just use random location. Let's say I'm at Murfreesboro here. I'm kind of somewhere around Murfreesboro, and I need to divert to Murfreesboro. You just hold 2 fingers here, and let's say I'm there. So it'll give you 4 minutes, 1 gallon of fuel, 150 knots, and then it'll give you the magnetic direction, magnetic course to take. So that's just, I can't. It's also 9.2 miles. It'll give you a direct distance, and I can't begin to recommend ForeFlight. Not just for that, but it's also got scratch pads for notes whenever you're flying, imagery, give you weather information, documents. You can upload POHs, anything. Airports, it'll give you the weather, all the charts you might need, more charts than you need. It also got weight and balance. You can do that if you make sure to set it up correctly, though, because that's a very important thing. Logbook. You can even set up checklists. I have this one partially set up, but I don't really set up checklists on here just because I have a little physical copy I use. But no matter what, I can't begin to highly recommend ForeFlight. I would say if you're a student pilot, definitely learn the old way first. I had to learn the E6B. Everyone had to do it before you. You're not the only one. We've all been there, but I cannot begin to recommend ForeFlight. But like I said, no matter what, always learn the old way to appreciate the new way, and also so you can get the basic fundamentals down, because this will not always work. There's, like I said, heat, other factors. You forget to charge it long enough at home, or it just goes haywire or something. But anyways, that just about wraps it up for what I have in my flight bag. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment down below. If you have any suggestions for me too, feel more than free to recommend it down in the comments below, and let me know if you learn anything, and suggestions, like I said, or anything, tips or any advice you need. Just feel free to comment down below. Peace.